You have created a form and you have linked it with a Google Sheets. The next step, basically, you just open up your Google Sheet and you create a second sheet. Let's say that this will be your monthly checkup, like what do you spend each month, what do you spend it on, and so on and so forth. Now, I've added some things already, so I'm just going to explain real quick. You want to add every single month, so January, February, March, and so on till December, October, November, and there we go. And then you want to add for each month this beginning datum and the ending datum. And you want to do this, I would advise just to do it across the top row. You can do it anywhere in the graph, but this just makes it a little bit easier. Once that is done, I will just do it for the first 3 months. You can just do the same thing for all the other months. Once that is done, I would on this column over here add your criteria. So this will be your criteria. I only have 3 at the moment as an example. We will add those here and we will start building the formula. Now, the formula you will be using is SUMIFs. If you want, this will be the formula. It's a very similar formula we will be using in this example. If you want, you can just copy it over. It's a really simple formula, and I will explain each and every asset of the formula. So let's start. SUMIFs. Open the bracket. Sum range. What do you want to sum exactly? Well, in our case, it's the price of all the products you bought. So we select the entire table and it won't even count the price, so don't worry about that. And we go back. We close this. Now, the first criteria. What do we want to count? The first criteria would be the categories. We only want to count if the category is like, we don't want to count everything, we only want to count certain categories in certain rows. So we choose this, we go back to our form, and then equals in apostrophes and dollar to make sure that the cell that you pick never moves, that it always stays in the same column. B4. Now it will only count the food, so this criteria for January. Well, right now it's counting for the entire year. We want to add more criteria, so it only counts for January. We go back to forms and we look at the date. When did I buy it? And we'll have to do this twice. Once for basically the beginning of the date. So we add bigger or equals to, and which cell is this? That's the C1. Bigger or equals to C1. There we go. Yes, you will need this AND sign just to make sure that it reads the contents of those cells. So in this case, it reads the contents of C1 and it's the date, and it will use the date and not just like the random number or whatever. So you need to add the AND always. And then you want to make sure that it never moves, so you add a dollar sign over here at the C. So it always says, I believe it's at the C. I'm actually not sure now. No, it was not the C. You want to add the dollar sign, scooch it over a bit, and add it before the 1. There we go. I will explain why in just a second. So this is the first. Now you want the exact same thing, so you can go ahead and copy all of this over and then just add the exact same thing and just change, instead of bigger or equals to smaller or equals to and C2. And there we go. This should be almost everything with the formula. I need to see what went wrong. It should be right. One moment. Oh yeah, this over here, there we go. Now it should be right. And it's not. Oh, of course. There we go. Now it's right. So usually it's human error. Now, you want to add a few more things in your formula. Basically, every single thing, every single one of those, you want to add a dollar sign. Why? It's just for your own, like, it will be a little bit easier. I'll explain in just a second. Just make sure that you add them over here. And there we go. Now, what does this do? Like, once this formula is ready, you can just grab it over here, drag it all the way down, and it will automatically make sure that the formula will be correct for every single cell. And you just make sure that you drag it all the way through, and there you go. The formula is pretty much ready. Now, just to make sure that it actually works, you can go like over here. Let's see. Let's say hmm, this was also in a shop, in a restaurant. So we change this, and now you should see over here, food in shop is 0, and it's an addition of the two things in the restaurant. Now you can also change, let's see, this instead of 7th of January, this was 7th of December. Let's see, it should have changed. 12/7 food restaurant UK. Yeah, of course, I haven't added the dates here yet, so let's just add those real quick. 12/01 2021, 12/31 2021, and there we go. That's our crackers over here. So pretty much this is how you use the formula. Now, what you can do with this formula is a lot, and eventually, like the more you get into Excel, the more you can expand on this, and you can get a very insanely flexible sheet of all your expenses, what you do with it, and you can add some graphs just to see. So let's just add a graph real quick. You can add a graph, and of course, this is a super shitty graph, but you can add a graph just to see like what you used when, and okay, like this is a super bad example. Like this is not a good graph, of course, but basically then you have like a clear overview. Okay, I'm spending this much. I'm spending most of my money on rent. I'm spending most of my money on leisure, or I don't know what not. So yeah, this is all I have to teach you today. Have a nice day.